This is John Paul Rai. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Today, I want to cover this article from Change.org, which is Jeannie Larson's site, which you guys know as the petition to remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2. Now, she's got some great insight on Paul Bettany and Johnny Depp and the text that they sent about Amber Heard, which made recent news because Paul Bettany responded to how he felt about the information getting out in court. So, I want to go over Jeannie's details. Let's see what she's got. Attack on Bettany. It seems that floodgates of desperation and abuse has been opened. Friends of Johnny Depp have come under fire from Amber Heard supporters, with Paul Bettany taking the worst of it. And masked, as if orchestrated to do so, Amber Heard supporters have begun to bombard Paul Bettany with abusive messages stemming from a conversation he had with Johnny Depp while Johnny was still in an abusive relationship with his now ex-wife, Amber Heard. If you're not aware of this conversation, Johnny Depp vented his frustrations about his abusive ex-wife to his dear friend Paul Bettany, saying, "Let's burn Amber," to which Bettany responded, "Having thought it through, I don't think we should burn Amber. She's delightful company and easy on the eye. Plus, I'm not sure she's a witch. We could, of course, try the English course of action. In these predicaments, we do a drowning test. Thoughts?" Depp responded, "Let's drown her before we burn her. I will F her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she's dead." Like I said over and over, not the nicest comment, but Jeannie explains why she thinks it was phrased like that. And you know what? My opinion is this. Private messages between friends are not meant to get out. And I've caught myself joking around about things once in a while. Not quite in the same way, but nothing I'd say out in the open because people wouldn't understand, but it's not sincere. It's just kind of language that's used out of frustration once in a while. Let's keep going. It's not pretty, but we have to keep in mind that Johnny had been abused by Heard for years, including incidents during which Heard threw a bottle at Johnny Depp, cutting his finger off, punching him in the head, kicking a door into his head, and putting a cigarette out on Johnny Depp's face. It's not uncommon for victims to vent against their abusers to friends or family. Beside which, that isn't often mentioned about these texts is the last one that Johnny sent, which said, "I am admittedly too effed in the head to spray my rage at the one I love for little reason, as well as I'm too old to be that guy, but pills are fine." That's right, after everything she had done to him, he still loved her. It wasn't until sometime later that he realized she didn't love him anymore. If she ever loved him at all, at this point, his heart still didn't want to give up on her. I said something similar. I said when he called Barnaby Joyce, a tomato or stemming from a tomato or whatever, he was still in his do I love her or not love her phase, and he just instinctually defended her against Barnaby Joyce. But I think now, probably, he'd want to see her pay that punishment for the perjury she committed in Australia and be on Joyce's side. But I digress on that one. Getting back to this topic. Point being that the text exchange that Heard fans are up in arms about, Johnny Depp venting to his friend about being abused. These people seem to conveniently ignore the abuse that Johnny is venting about. Texts sent in private that were never meant to be seen are being hailed as Johnny Depp being abusive, but the mountain of evidence proving that Heard was actually the abuser is swept off to the side, ignored. Obviously, a great point. Obviously, the best point. They don't put things in context. They just imagine Amber did nothing to Johnny and he said this stuff. Oh my God, look at that. When the fact is, this was at his absolute breaking point. And she goes on to say that they think this here alone proves that Johnny is the abuser. These are just words, banter with a friend. It's not tangible. And by the way, I'm pretty sure Virginia threw it out. Well, that's what Jeannie gets into. The court disagrees. In response to Heard's counterclaim, the texts are irrelevant and inadmissible, saying that the remaining two allegations of computer usage fail under the third prong of the VCCA because Ms. Heard has not alleged that they were made with the intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass. Exactly. Like I said, they weren't made directed to her, sent to her phone. It was text between them two. So this, I don't think, will be considered in VA which is a good thing because it shouldn't be. Rather, it appears that Mr. Depp texted those statements privately to two of his friends, and Miss Heard has not alleged that Mr. Depp intended for her to see them. Accordingly, this court sustains the demur to Court 3 since none of Miss Heard's allegations satisfy the prongs of the VCCA, and that is exactly what I missed in my first video, which is why I love these articles here. Great point. Those were not directed at Amber. Those were for two friends. And that's it. And conveniently, the media never mentioned the text exchange between Johnny Depp and Paul Bettany is taken from a Monty Python sketch, nor do they usually publish the end of the text where Mr. Depp says, "I could never do this to someone I love." Another knockout point. Publish it all. Full context. Without full context, of course, you can make someone look like they're doing something bad or something more wrong. I missed that part because that's not in the things I cover. It just kind of slipped away from me. Maybe I've seen it months ago, but it escaped the forefront of my mind. So thank you. Now we've got full context. And in the end, she goes on to say that Amber supporters should not be attacking Paul Bettany. He's just Johnny's friend who was having a little banter back and forth online. He's really not involved in this whatsoever. Anyway, that's about it. You guys, of course, let me know what you think down below. Jeannie's on Twitter. Give her a follow. She's got a great account. Here it is on 2,600 followers. Great stuff. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you subscribe here, you'll get videos, pop culture, stuff like that. If you don't subscribe, I guess I'll be sad. But I'll get over it. See you next time.